Sunday School teacher, thank you for joining us as we spend some time in preparation for teaching God's Word this coming Sunday. We're going to be looking at the lesson for January the 7th. So Happy New Year. 2018 is here and we're ready to go. So we're ready to continue in our study of the book of Acts. Here we're going to be looking at a changed family. We're going to be in Acts chapter 16. And the point of the lesson is that God uses our influence to lead others to Him. God uses our influence to lead others to Him. So in this session, we're going to look at the incident in which Paul and Silas faced adversity in Philippi. The team's ministry in Philippi began with the conversion of Lydia, a businesswoman from Thyatira, and we see that in verses 13 through 15. And we're going to come back and look at this one a little bit later on, but we see that Paul cast out an evil spirit from a slave girl, but the girl's deliverance caused trouble for Paul and Silas from the slave girl's owners. In other words, we're going to come back and look at that more specifically in a couple of weeks. But they used this girl to make money telling fortunes, and the owners succeeded in having Paul and Silas arrested, beaten, and jailed, and that's where we see in verses 16 through 24. And that's where we're going to pick this up with the situation in Acts chapter 16, verse 22. The crowd joined in the attack against them. The chief magistrates stripped off their clothes and ordered them to be beaten with rods. After they severely flogged them, they threw them in jail, ordering the jailer to guard them carefully. Receiving such an order, he put them into the inner prison and secured their feet in stocks. So here we've got the situation. And we see that they gathered in a central location for the proceedings, and that's what we see in verse 22. Remember, we're dealing with the irate slave owners that brought 3 charges against Paul and Silas. They said that they were disturbing the peace, and that is a very serious accusation in a Roman colony. The one thing the Romans did not want was any disturbance of the peace. And so they were saying that's what they're doing. They're stirring up the crowd. They're making things unruly, and they're going to make it difficult for you Roman people. And that was not popular with the Roman authorities. They also accused them of promoting illegal customs. And they were drawing people away from their pagan cults. And these pagan cults had been approved by Rome. They had been sanctioned as okay. And so they were accused of bringing in illegal customs. And then they accused them, one of the accusations was, these are Jews. And evidently, and we know that Jews did not have a very favorable reputation in the Roman Empire. It says the crowd joined in the attack. So not only were the slave owners, the guys who were out of money, out of the money they were making, were joining in, but the crowd was joining in on the attacks. The crowd began to shout verbal taunts at Paul and Silas. Now it talks about the chief magistrates, and what we need to understand there is this is usually 2 men. These were people 2 men that were appointed by Rome for the purpose of law enforcement, like judges, maybe even like a sheriff. But these were the authorities in the town. We see that Paul and Silas were not